For the first time today, we hear the panic and confusion at the Cincinnati Zoo as a 420-pound gorilla dragged and held on to a 3-year-old boy. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us at 11. I'm Colleen Marshall.
And I'm Mike Jackson. The frantic 911 calls from zoo visitors and the mother, that little boy, tell the frightening last moments of that gorilla's life after the boy fell 15 feet into a moat.
It all happened in minutes last Saturday, but it likely felt like hours.
My son fell in the zoo exhibit at the gorilla. The Cincinnati Zoo. My son fell in with the gorilla.
Desperate cries for help from the mother of a 3-year-old.
There's a male gorilla standing over him. I need someone to contact the zoo, please.
We now know it was the zoo's dangerous animal response team called into action as the 911 calls were pouring in.
There's a baby in the zoo that fell in the gorilla moat.
Okay.
There's a baby in the zoo at the gorilla moat. Hurry! He's got the baby and it's still alive, but he's dragging him from one end to the other. Oh my God! He's trying to talk to the gorilla too, but the baby's alive and he's awake.
The mother was yelling to her son to stay calm, but few in the crowd were calm as they described the action to 911 dispatchers.
Baby is still in the water and the gorilla had it, but it slammed it against the wall earlier.
When the response team got there, they ordered the crowd to move back. Minutes later, the gorilla was shot to death. And then first responders reached the boy.
Child is safe.
That is very good news.
Also today, the boy's family released a new statement saying the child had a checkup with his doctor and is still doing well. It says we continue to praise God for his grace and mercy and to be thankful to the Cincinnati Zoo for their actions taken to protect our child. NBC4's Dan Perlman is at the Watch for Alert desk tonight with continuing coverage of the controversy that's still being debated nationwide, especially among parents. Dan?
Well, Colleen, with all of this surrounding the Cincinnati Zoo, it got me thinking, what are parents telling their children, specifically when it comes to respecting the zoo animals? Now, I want you to take a look. I found these clips online, children banging on the glass, the enclosures with the animals inside. Zoo leaders naturally discourage this. I talked with one father. He told me he tells his children, quite frankly, to keep in mind this is where these animals live. It's their home.
If our kids ever try to do that, especially my 3-year-old, will tell them, hey, that's not nice. You wouldn't want somebody pounding on your window or, acting like if it's your bedroom or whatever it is, be polite, be considerate.
And it is the beginning of summer, and talking with parents, you can expect the events of Saturday to stay on a lot of minds as zoo season moves forward. Dan Perlman, NBC4.
Thanks so much, Dan. Now, the boy's father has received a number of death threats, and now another Ohio mother says she's received threats because she has the same name. NBC4, we are not repeating the woman's name because of those threats of violence, but she does say the case of mistaken identity has become a nightmare.
I received multiple messages that were meant for her, and I cannot believe how many people thought that killing Harambe was wrong and it should have been her son that died instead. A lot of people said that I should have my children taken away, that I should have my tubes tied.
She says that she believes that people targeted her on Facebook because of her name and because she was holding her own young son in her Facebook picture. You can watch all of our interviews and previous documents from the USDA concerning enclosures at the Cincinnati Zoo. It's all on our website at NBC4i.com.